Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Positive Lifestyle Management Awareness Session. So today I was given an array of questions. Guys sent me in some questions and they was asking questions based on uh, teachings. But before I begin with this awareness session, I would like for you all to hit that like button and subscribe. Subscribe to Positive Lifestyle Management. Support your brother and of the struggle. So to begin, the first question that was asked to me was, when we say the words love to you, what are we really saying? They want the exact wording. Well, to find the answer to that question, one has to go to the June 18, 1982 letter. And the answer to that question is, I am willing to accept responsibility for you, and I'm willing to share responsibility with you. That's what love to you means, according to our leadership. Once again, I am willing to accept responsibility for you, and I am willing to share responsibility with you. The next question was, what are our twofold enemies? This question also comes from the June 18, 1982 letter. And the answer to that question is complacency and apathy. Complacency is the absence of initiative. Apathy is the suppression of initiative. Absence of initiative basically means as though it's not there. You don't have the drive or the motivation to get up to do something on your own. Initiatives mean to take the first step without being told. Suppression of initiative means that you have the know-how and you know what to do, but you are holding yourself back from taking initiative, from taking that first step. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. The next question comes from the organizational structure and say, what is the purpose of an organizational structure and why is an organizational structure important? What's the purpose of an organizational structure? The purpose of an organizational structure is to prevent chaos. And and why is it important? It is to maintain the unity. The purpose of it is to maintain the unity, and why you need it is because it prevents chaos. Because if you don't have an organizational structure, what you will wind up having anarchy. Does that mean everybody will be doing what they want to do? There will be no structure on how you go about doing things. So what you may do today, you may not necessarily do tomorrow. The policy that applies today might not apply tomorrow. There is no laws. There's nothing to basically to keep everybody in check, to keep the balance. The next question, what does it mean to be an enemy of the people? Become an enemy of the people is that basically you are insubordinate to chairman in the governing body, or whoever is in position of authority at that particular time. That's what it means to become an enemy of the people. So that's why I says in the OS, when it comes to the organization, the individual is subordinate to the organization, meaning you are not bigger than the organization. No one person is bigger than the organization. The minority is subordinate to the majority. What that means is when you coming about in accordance with your position of authority, that is the minority is subordinate to the majority. It don't mean that if 10 people say this here and one person say that there, that one person uh, uh, um, the 10 ain't got to follow the one, especially if one has the most authority. If one has the most authority and that person is following the laws and policies that governs the organization and following the true vision of the new concept, then that one will become the majority. The entire membership is supported to the chairman and governing body. That means everybody is supported to the chairman and governing body. Whoever violates these articles of organizational structure also disrupted organizational unity, help with that fashion and immunity. So if you become insubordinate and get outside the articles of organizational structure, and you become the enemy of the people. Explain, the next question would be, that was asked to me, explain the phrase power to reckon with. Power, meaning you have an authority, meaning that you are strong, meaning it is a force behind you to reckon with. Reckon means one that has to be considered, or that has to be considered. So that means as though a force that has to be considered. That's what a power to reckon with means. It don't mean that you are going in reckon some being destructive. That means as though one has to consider you. One has to look at you as on an equal playing field and not less or beneath them. That's what that means. All right. Next question is, in detail, explain the meaning of a pledge. A pledge is basically an oath, a guarantee, you're giving your word to do something. That's how, remember when we was young, I don't know if they still do it in school today, but when we was young, we used to have to stand up at the beginning of each class and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That means as though you're giving an oath to the United States flag. That's just like with anything. So with the organization, you are making a pledge. So we pledge and I pledge. This is what we pledge as a whole, and this is what I pledge as an individual. You know, what are the doctrines of our new concept? That's okay. Let's just say the pledge. We the brothers of the struggle pledge and wholeheartedly. I love life, Lord, and have embraced the teachings of our chairman. Our covenant will be to fully adhere to all teachings and laws, all teaching laws and policies set forth by our chairman and executive staff. The doctrines of our new concept will be a guiding light that will forever be lit in our hearts and in our mind. This light will serve as a constant reminder, motivating force within each of us. Also, it will still in us dedication, determination, and the doctrines will become the laws and policies that's laid down by the chairman and the board of directors. Everything that the organization stands upon, those are the doctrines, those are the authors, those are the teachings, those are what that is what we believe in. Next question is, he says, break down the importance of the creed in your own words and full detail. So let me break down the creed in my own words and full details. First of all, before we can break down the creed, I can break down each step in the creed, but before I even begin there, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the word creed. The word creed in itself, and if I just describe that in one word, it means belief. That's why when we start out, we say we believe. This is our belief system. This is everything. The creed is everything that we believe in. You know, that's why I say when we believe in the teachings of our honorable chairman, we believe in all the teachings that the chairman has set forth. You know, and another part of the creed is standing strongly upon our 6 points, utilizing knowledge, wisdom, understanding as we strive in our struggle for education, economic, political, and social development. These are our belief systems. This is what we believe in. We believe in standing strongly upon our 6 points, which is love, life, Lord, and knowledge, wisdom, understanding, as we strive in our struggle for educational, economical, political, and social development. You know, these are the things that we actually believe in, aid and assist in our fellow brothers of struggle and all righteous endeavor. That don't mean that if a brother is doing something outside of the laws and policies of the new concept that you are required to aid and assist this person. No, what it means is that when you aid and assist, like if I know that this brother needs some help in getting his business up off the ground, he's doing something legitimate, then I have a solemn duty, oath, and obligation and responsibility to aid and assist that brother or sister that's trying to do something positive with their lives. Next question is, explain what our chairman and executive staff mean by dedication, determination. Dedication, determination. What is the root word of dedication? Dedicate. So that means as though you dedicated to what you believe in and dedicated in the organization. This is our pledge. Determination, meaning you being determined. You will not give up. You will continuously strive. Discipline, self-control, having self-control over yourself, having being able to be in control of oneself, because if one cannot be in control of himself, then how can you expect for one to be in control of others? One has to be able to control himself first, because if you can't control yourself, then there's no sense to you trying to control somebody else. Dedication, determination, and discipline. As we strive and struggle for dedication, determination. That's what we do, brothers. You know, so now that I've answered these questions that the young brothers said to me, I want to go a little elaborate a little farther, on the new concept. No, new meaning something that's opposite of old, something that's is fresh. Concept, idea, organization. What is an organization? An organization is a unified and consolidated group of people with an executive structure that deals with the well-beings of all of its people. It's an executive structure of business and enterprise for the individual and collective acceleration of the body as a whole. This is what an organization. This is, you find this in the common sense approach. Matter of fact, it's on the first page of the common sense approach. The new concept has been around now for 40 years, and it is slowly molding us into the men and women that it was designed to make us. Whether we realize it or not, there's a lot of work that has to be done, and there's a lot of turmoil we see in areas in the streets and inside the penal warehouses and everything. A lot of misteaching. But we do not want to get caught up and hung up on those who are misleading or aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Instead, let's focus on the ones who are doing what they are doing, who are what they're supposed to do, who are living according to the new concept. Let's look at all the men and women out there that's striving on a daily basis to take care of them families, take care of their families, and take care of their community, that's doing the cleanups, that's providing jobs, that's doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. Let's not always just look at what isn't being done. And so when we look at things that say that what isn't being done, we also have to look at ourselves and say, what role do we play in the things not being done? Are we doing what we're supposed to do? Because if we are doing what we're supposed to do, then there's no room for us to even be focusing on what somebody else isn't doing. Because if we look at what the guidelines teaches us, and how it was designed and how it was put forth for us, then we'll be able to see the true essence of what is being said. Okay, so now let's look at this here. This came out December the 8th, 1982, by the chairman of the board of directors to all brothers of the struggle, what's happening inside and out. And this is about, I'm gonna up straight to the second paragraph. And it says, before venturing off into the interior of the sheep, a fruit of thought in this story that follows, we want to render to you for thought. The story that follows is about four people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was asked to do it. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought that anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody blamed somebody when nobody accused anybody. So the story is saying this here. Instead of me doing what I'm supposed to be doing, focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing in the organization, what we'll be doing is sitting around pointing fingers and being concerned about what the next person isn't doing. And when we're pointing fingers at saying that what somebody else isn't doing and what they don't like about what this person or doing or isn't doing, and you got to look at yourself and say, what role are you playing in? What are you doing? Because if you're doing the right thing, then that means as though you would not be focusing on what that person isn't doing. See what I'm saying? Do I make sense? Do it make any sense to you? No. And to move on further, it says, our brothers, As we stated in our organizational preface, everybody has a responsibility. We make up the organization as individuals that come together as a collective. This is saying that you as a member of this organization is just as responsible for its growth as your fellow brother. Even if he is in a position of authority and you are not, his responsibility may outweigh yours in that particular position, but the bulk of the responsibility of our goals and objectives don't stop there. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody has to play their role. Everybody has to do their part. All of us, everybody. And those who aren't doing their part, eventually what's going to happen is they're going to get out the way because they're going to see that they are in the way. That's the get out, kick out. So for all the young men and women out there and all the brothers and sisters, all the brothers and sisters that's out here that's living according to the guidelines that governs the organization, just continue to do what you do. Continue being a positive, productive, and motivating force within your community and within the organization. Keep doing your part. Don't let somebody else come along and try to tell you what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Take the time to sit down with the youth. Take the time to guide them, the youth. Take the time to listen to the elders and to study. So that way you will be able to realize when one of the elders is telling you something that's true or isn't true. You'll be able to recognize truth from falsehood. So once again, I want to thank you all for participating in this awareness session. And once again, click that like button, click that subscribe button. Peace.